All right, Minnesota Timberwolves wrap up the Denver Nuggets in 6 games. They win game 6, 110 to 98. And it was a great series, dude. It was super chippy. Everyone's talking shit to each other. Everyone's shoving each other back and forth. Nikola Jokic almost fights. No one's going to fight, but he gets into it with Jaden McDaniels. He got into it with someone else. I can't remember exactly who it was, but it was a Denver versus Minnesota playoff series, and we always love to see it. The series are always awesome, and both these teams just match up so well with each other. Unfortunately for Denver fans, your team lost the series, of course, and even more unfortunately, Peyton Watson is missing. They're missing Aaron Gordon as well. Those are literally their two best defenders in Peyton Watson, Aaron Gordon. Christian Brown is a really good perimeter defender, but he's not really close to Aaron Gordon or Peyton Watson, for that matter, playing defense on the perimeter. And then Minnesota fans are going to be saying, boo hoo, y'all are missing those guys. Dante DiVincenzo tears his Achilles. Anthony Edwards has the hyperextended knee. If y'all saw that play happen, I thought he tore his fucking meniscus, dude. So it's good to see Anthony Edwards is hopefully probably going to be able to come back to play maybe game 4 or 5 against the Spurs, if the series can get that far. Um, yeah, my main takeaway from this series is just it's so unfortunate, all the injury luck for both teams. I'll make an entire separate video about it, but people are starting to say, oh, is Nikola Jokic still the best player in the NBA? If you don't think he is, that's fine. Or is he still a top 3 player in the NBA? Is Nikola Jokic declining just because his team was injured 2 years in a row in the playoffs? And I don't think that's really fair to hate on Nikola Jokic in that way. But anyways, moving on to the game. Baby blue is Denver. Dark blue is Minnesota, of course. This is the lead chart. See this baby blue right here. Denver was up 5 points early in the game. Minnesota gets up about 12. Denver comes back, gets up 3 points or so again. And then here's the third and fourth quarter. And they just never take the lead again. They were able to tie the game right here in the middle of the third quarter. They cut into the lead. I think they made it probably a 2 point game or so right here at the beginning of the fourth quarter. And then even right here towards the end of the fourth, I think they had it. It was I want to say it was a 3 point game or a 5 point game. Jaden McDaniels gets the switch on Jamal Murray. They're attacking Jokic and Jamal Murray just all game long. They bring up whatever defender is guarding Jokic, they bring him up to set the screen, and then whoever Jamal Murray is guarding, they run the two-man action with those two players, and now Jokic has to switch on to the ball handler, so Jokic switches on to Jaden McDaniels, for example. That's a mismatch. And then you have Jamal Murray switching on to Julius Randle, who set the screen. So now you just have double mismatches either way. And they just did a great job attacking Jamal Murray and attacking Nikola Jokic. But yeah, it was a 5 point game. It was actually, I want to say it was actually a 3 point game late in the game. And if y'all remember, Jamal Murray gets the switch onto Jaden McDaniels. Jaden gets right there, kind of on the right wing, hits him with a little tween and just pulls up right in his face and shoots a clean-ass mid-range jumper right in Jamal Murray's face. And that basically iced the game at that point. We'll get to player stats in a second. I can't say enough about Jaden McDaniels in this series. Denver's biggest lead was 5 points again. That was really right at the beginning of the game. Minnesota's biggest lead was 12. The game was just back and forth all game long. There was never really a point in the game where I felt like Denver was totally out of it or they weren't able to come back to win the game, but just felt like every time Denver went on a run, Julius Randle would make a big shot, Jaden McDaniels, Rudy Gobert gets big ass offensive rebounds. That's one thing I noticed all game long. Jaden, Rudy Gobert, Julius Randle, they're just all in there, just tipping everything up, getting all sorts of offensive rebounds. Freaking God was on their side. Mike Conley, there was one I remembered. He bricked a three, he front rims it, and the ball bounces right back to him behind the 3 point line. Minnesota was just getting awesome bounces all game long, and then just doing a great job on the offensive glass. But yeah, there was 9 lead changes, so it was a pretty back and forth game. 6 times the game was tied, so Minnesota, they controlled the game, but it wasn't a If you're a Minnesota fan, I want to say it was a dominant performance by your team, but I don't think they just destroyed the Nuggets. But for Minnesota to be missing Dante and missing Ant-Man, I think it's fair to say it was a pretty dominant, pretty convincing win for the Timberwolves. And it was really impressive. Denver only scores 98 points, so holding Denver under 100 points is just amazing. If you can do that in any game, Minnesota gets the 110 points. Denver has 33 rebounds. Minnesota has 50 rebounds. We'll get to the offensive rebounds in a second, but I know Minnesota was just destroying them on the glass really all game long. Rudy Gobert, Julius Randle, Jaden McDaniels. I think I mentioned earlier, Denver was missing Peyton Watson. They were also missing Aaron Gordon. And those guys could give you 7 or 8 rebounds each and make this a closer rebounding battle. But again, Minnesota fans aren't going to be boohooing about Peyton Watson and Aaron Gordon being out when Minnesota is also missing 2 or 3 of their best 4 players. So again, the injuries suck, but the injuries kind of went both ways in this series. 26 assists for Minnesota, 24 for Denver. Pretty sad for Denver to only have 24 assists. Yes, Minnesota had 26. We'll get to the stats in a second. I swear Jokic had 12 assists, so we'll get to Jokic in a second here. I thought he played well, but we'll get to it. 8 steals for Minnesota, 4 for Denver. Minnesota's just full of dogs. It was like watching any Minnesota game. They're just going over every single screen, fighting every single handoff. Jaden McDaniels is at it again. He's pressuring Jamal Murray at half court. There was a play he's guarding Jamal Murray off ball. Jamal Murray comes off a screen. Jaden fights over the screen, gets into the paint. They're running the play. Jokic is going to pass the ball to Jamal Murray for hopefully an open layup, but Jaden McDaniels just blows up that entire play, and he was doing stuff like that all game long. 8 blocks for Denver, 3 for Minnesota. Kind of surprising, but Denver won on the blocks battle. Rebounding and taking care of the ball is really, really what helped Minnesota win the game. They only had 7 turnovers, so that's crazy. They're missing their primary ball handler. They're missing their secondary ball handler in Dante DiVincenzo. It's either Dante or Julius Randle. Those are probably their 2. You could throw Jaden McDaniels in there too, but I'd say when Anthony Edwards doesn't have the ball, it's usually in Julius Randle or Dante DiVincenzo's hands to help play make. So that's awesome to only have 7 turnovers, missing 2 of your best playmakers. Denver does have the 13 turnovers. I think Jokic had a handful. And again, I don't think they played bad or were executing their offense terribly necessarily. They were doing the things they like to do, but Minnesota just made everything so tough for them. Both teams shoot 45% from the field. That's a wash. Minnesota shoots 24% from 3. The Nuggets shoot 30% from 3, and Minnesota still somehow wins the game by 12 points, only shooting 24% from 3. Again, they out-rebounded them by 17 points. We'll get to in a second, but 17 more rebounds. I don't know how many more shots Minnesota took than Denver, but they took way more fucking shots than Denver, and that's really what helped them win the game. That paired along with taking care of the ball. Minnesota 70% from the line, Denver's 80%. Minnesota can be a little shaky at the free throw line, especially when Gobert is shooting some of the free throws out there. Minnesota's 64 points in the paint to Denver's 40. Minnesota, I think it's fair to say they're the best team at guarding Nikola Jokic. This whole series, it was just Rudy Gobert, just one-on-one, all game long, all series long against Nikola Jokic. Denver made some adjustments, but I mean, if a guy's just really good at guarding you one-on-one, he's just going to guard you really good one-on-one. He made things so tough for Jokic. Jokic still had a good series. We'll get to his numbers in a second. He still had probably a triple-double for the series. We're just kind of numb to his numbers at this point, but Jokic gave him so much trouble out there. And then if Nikola Jokic can't handle, or if Rudy Gobert can't handle Nikola Jokic one-on-one, which he was handling him all series long, they didn't have to make the adjustment. But if Gobert is having troubles and Jokic is having success one-on-one, they're just going to switch Julius Randle onto Nikola Jokic. They're going to have Rudy Gobert kind of roaming that back line. So Julius Randle can do a good job defending him one-on-one as well. And then if Randle gets beat, they'll have Gobert on the back line to kind of help and double team Jokic. I've seen Minnesota do that before, but they just didn't need to do that this series. Rudy Gobert just did such a great job out there. 4 second chance points for Denver, 20 for Minnesota. So again, the offensive rebounding, Minnesota took way more shots than Denver was able to, and the second chance points really killed Denver as well. 13 fast break points for Minnesota, 7 for Denver. So no crazy difference in the fast break points. Moving on to the player stats. The first thing I want to check before we even get into individual player stats is the field goal attempts. This is the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets took 75 shots as a team. The Timberwolves took fucking 94 shots as a team. So yeah, 75 to 94. Minnesota basically took 20 more shots than the Denver Nuggets did on the glass. I want to see the offensive rebound specifically. That's insane. The Timberwolves had 19 offensive rebounds. Denver only had 6. So 19 offensive rebounds to 6 offensive rebounds. And then the Timberwolves took 19 more shots than Denver took. And watching the game, it was just obvious, dude. Jaden McDaniels, Rudy Gobert, Julius Randle, they're just tipping everything. There were so many times when they couldn't just grab the rebound with 2 hands, but they're just in there battling with Jokic, battling with everybody, just tipping shots up. I talked about the Mike Conley 3 earlier. He shoots it, front rims it, and it bounces just right back into his hands. There was multiple times other than that play where Minnesota was missing threes, just long-ass rebounds. And for whatever reason, the ball's just bouncing right back to Minnesota players. So played really hard on the glass, had luck on their side with a lot of those long rebounds, and they're just a bunch of dogs out there. I don't know how many times I can say it. Spencer Jones, he had 8 points. He's 2 for 3 from 3. He was giant in game 5. He basically helped them win the game, knocking down a bunch of threes down the stretch, but wasn't quite enough this game. Christian Brown's a dog. He's an awesome defender. He's I call him Dante DiVincenzo light. He's not as good as Dante DiVincenzo, but he does a lot of similar things. Does have the 3 blocks out there with his 3 points. So like I said, he's always hustling and trying to do what he can out there. Bruce Brown, man, 1 point. He's 0 for 2 from the field out there. 2 steals, 1 assist. Jones, he had the 4 points on 2 for 4. I don't even know who this Jones is, honestly. I just know about Spencer Jones, but their other Jones was out there and scored 4 points. We already talked about Christian Brown. Tim Hardaway, I thought he did his job out there. He has 13 points. He's 4 for 7, 1 for 2 from 3, 4 rebounds. I feel like that's a good Tim Hardaway game. If Tim Hardaway can give me this pretty much every single game, that's all I asked from him. So it wasn't like he did a bad job playing his role out there. Man, Jamal Murray was rough out there, dude. 12 points. He's 4 for 17, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. He was rough all game long, of course. Fourth quarter comes along, probably the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game. I'm thinking the same thing the announcers are saying. They're saying basically Jamal Murray's had a rough game. We've seen Jamal Murray have like 3 rough quarters, 3.5 rough quarters, then the last 5 or 6 minutes of the game, he catches on fire and closes out games. That's basically what he's there for, is to be the closer next to Nikola Jokic. And he just had a stinker tonight, dude. 4 for 17. 0 turnovers. That's one good thing. 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Only 12 points on 17 shots. It's just really, really bad. Just a really bad stinker performance from Jamal Murray. I won't take too much away from it. He had a really bad game. He wasn't able to help them close, wasn't able to help them do very much at all out there, to be fair. And when Jamal Murray's having games like this on the offensive end, you already know what's happening defensively. He's just getting wrecked on and picked on by Julius Randle and Jaden McDaniels. I think Rudy Gobert got a rebound and got a little stick back over him as well. So, Jamal Murray, he has to give you the 20 plus. He has to be efficient to be effective because he's getting attacked on defense, and it was just overall a stinker for Jamal Murray. We'll just call it what it is out there. Cam Johnson was really good last game. He was awesome this game as well. The 27 points. He's 8 for 15. He shoots 50% from 3, knocks down 5 of them. He was 6 for 9 from the line. So that's kind of weird. I heard the announcers talking about some of the missed free throws. I think he missed one kind of late. It might have been 3 minutes left in the game or so. But again, Cam Johnson did way more than enough in his role to help the Nuggets win the game. Jamal Murray just didn't come along for the ride tonight. Jokic, he has 28 points. He's 11 for 19. Great efficiency. 1 for 5 from 3. They were kind of just daring him to shoot the threes out there. That's how I would guard Jokic, honestly. Just sag off of him. Try to take away all of his passing angles because we know he mainly wants to be a facilitator. If I was guarding Jokic, again, I would just sag off, try to take away those passing angles. Hey, Nikola, if you want to shoot 12 threes and knock down 7 or 8 of your 12 threes, I'll just say good game, bro. You turned into Steph Curry and you killed us this game. But the 28 points, 9 rebounds, 10 assists. He does have the 4 turnovers. Does have 1 block. I forgot who it was on, but he did have 1 block out there. I guess the 4 turnovers are a little rough. Nikola Jokic, I thought he had a fine series, but Rudy Gobert just did such a great job one-on-one guarding him. And I've heard people talking about Jokic. Is Nikola Jokic declining? Is Jokic still the best offensive player in the NBA? It's either him or SGA for the best offensive player in the NBA. I'd still give it to Jokic. After this series, I know people are going to be trying to say it's definitely SGA, and I won't really argue with you. Either way you want to go, I'm not mad about it. But I feel like Jokic he's almost suffering from LeBron James syndrome, if that makes sense. Like when LeBron was in Cleveland, back in his early days, his team wasn't as talented as this Nuggets team. Again, they're missing Peyton Watson. They're missing Aaron Gordon as well. So those are two huge starters they're missing. But when I say the LeBron James syndrome, I feel like they just give Jokic the ball, and they're just kind of looking at Jokic. They're doing some off-ball movement, but it's like, all right, Jokic, here's the ball. Please create a wide-open shot for yourself or one of your teammates. Here you go, Nikola. Get down in the post, make one of your hook shots or one of your floaters, hit a nasty 1-foot Dirk Nowitzki style fadeaway, and then hopefully you'll get double-teamed or triple-teamed, and you'll make some insane pass for a wide-open shot, and here you go, Jokic, create all the offense for us, just like LeBron James used to have to do in his early stint in Cleveland. And then Jamal Murray just didn't come along for the ride. I just saw so much this game where it was just Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic shot 2-man game, and a lot of the times it works out. If they had Peyton Watson and Aaron Gordon healthy for this whole series, maybe Minnesota still wins the series. Again, Minnesota was missing Ant-Man and Dante, but I feel like it's unfair people saying, oh, Jokic is declining, Jokic is not what he used to be, because I feel like the only difference is the fact that he didn't have his full healthy team, and he still played well, but he can't put this collection of players on his back and beat this Minnesota team. Mike Conley, he had 7 points. He's 3 for 7, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Played 27 minutes out there, so he got some good minutes. And just awesome veteran leadership, like always. That's insane. They ran 5, 6, 7. They only ran 8 players deep, just 8 players the entire game. That's insane for Minnesota. But Conley was solid out there. Bones Highland only plays 8 minutes. He has 1 point on a free throw. He's 0 for 3 from 3. They just got him out there. If he knocks down a 3, he probably plays more minutes. If he knocks down another 3, they probably leave him out there. But they kind of play Bones, see if he's hot that night. If he is, he keeps playing. If he's not, they give another player an opportunity. Clark got out there for 12 minutes. He had the 3 points, 2 rebounds. I like Clark. He's a versatile defender. He's a really athletic player out there as well. Rudy Gobert, he's been awesome all series long. The 10 points, 13 rebounds. That's insane. Rudy Gobert had 8 assists. If y'all remember, he had one, who was it to? I think it was Terrence Shannon Jr., but Rudy Gobert catches, I want to say it's a pick and roll. He catches as the roll man. If y'all remember this play, Terrence Shannon Jr. is in the corner. Rudy Gobert hits a left-handed wraparound pass. I think it was around Jokic, but a left-handed wraparound, and it's just right on target to the corner. And forgive me, I don't know if it was Terrence Shannon Jr. or if it was Conley. Whoever he passed it to, they just waxed the corner three. But if y'all remember, it was a disgusting wraparound pass with the left hand. I didn't know Rudy had that in his bag, but he gets the 8 assists, close to a triple-double for Rudy Gobert. And again, just amazing defense on Nikola Jokic. Great game for Rudy Gobert. Julius Randle's a dog, 18 points on 6 for 17 shooting. Not good efficiency, but the 5 assists, the 4 rebounds, 1 steal, and he just plays so physical out there. He takes so much energy out of whoever's trying to guard him. He's just always down low, always playing physical in the post. Not the most efficient game for him, but I thought he had a good impact as well. Terrence Shannon Jr. was awesome. He was just getting to the paint whenever he wanted. Reminds me of not his play style. I would say Ginobili, it kind of reminds me of. Not his exact play style, but the fact that you know this guy's left-handed, you're sitting on their left hand, you know they're going to go left, and they still blow by you to the left and get a finish at the rim. He had at least 3 or 4 blow-bys where he just blows by, going to the left every single time, and they just can't stop it. He had a nasty one. He hit a little hezzy. I forgot who he blew by. Blows by, gets in the paint, and gets a nasty-ass left-handed dunk, and the crowd's going fucking crazy. But he's basically 50% from the 3. Knocks down 50% from the field. Knocks down 1 of his 7 threes. He can knock down threes pretty decently, but he was a bit off tonight from the 3-point line. Knocks down all 5 of his free throws, 2 steals as well. Really good defender, really athletic player. Solid point of attack defender. Just does a great job playing the passing lanes and just reading passes. Yeah, Terrence Shannon was amazing out there. And then finally, big dog Jaden McDaniels. I've always loved Jaden McDaniels. I love him even more now. He comes out and says, "Oh, we just got to attack all of Denver's bad defenders," and he just goes on to list every single player on Denver's team. The reporter asks, "Oh, you're just saying that you're saying that all their defenders are bad?" And Jaden just says yes. Talks his shit. I think that was either game 2 or game 3. They just hate him. They're booing the shit out of him in Denver, and he just loves it. Jaden McDaniels is on his villain arc. And I love to see it because he's a fucking awesome villain. When they were talking to him about Denver's bad defense, he's in the locker room. He has his black hoodie on. He looks like a Sith Lord from Star Wars. And I just fucking love Jaden McDaniels. There's not one team in the NBA that Jaden McDaniels would not start on. Gives you 45 minutes. Barely sits down all game long. He's 13 for 25, 32 points. He has the 10 rebounds, 3 dimes, 2 steals, 1 block, 0 turnovers. That's insane because he has the ball in his hands a lot of the time, and fucking 32 points and 10 rebounds, over 50% shooting, and I just love it again. Just talking shit, backs up all of his shit talk. The one play again that sticks out to me the most, easy to remember, probably for everybody, gets to the right wing, little between the legs, hits Jamal Murray with a little hezzy, and says, I'm 6'10", just rises up and just waxes a jumper right in Jamal Murray's face. And that was pretty much the dagger for the game. One last little thing I noticed, it's the end of the game. Jamal Murray goes up to Nikola Jokic, handshake, they give each other a good nice little hug, and they just left that on the court. Jokic is an amazing competitor, so is Jaden McDaniels. They're both humble guys. They're not dickheads out there, I guess. They're both humble guys. They left it out on the court, and they just both respect the shit out of each other. And I love to see the handshake and the respect at the end of the game. It reminds me of, it was Denny Avdia from the Spurs. I think it was Denny, and was it Dylan Harper? Denny Avdia got into it with one of the Spurs players. I want to say it was Dylan Harper, but it was the same thing at the end of the game. Handshake, hugs, good series, and just leave it out on the court. It's really nothing personal out there. But amazing series from the Timberwolves. Congrats to the Timberwolves and your fans. Your team is full of a bunch of fucking dogs, and they're moving on to round two to face the San Antonio Spurs. It's sad that DiVincenzo's out. We'll see with Anthony Edwards. I think they said it's a 2-week thing, so probably around game 3 to game 5, he should hopefully be able to come back for that series. But please like and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 7 billion subscribers. Let me know what you thought about this series. It it was an amazing series. I wish everyone would have been healthy. Would have been an even better series, but still was not disappointed with the Nuggets and the Timberwolves. Please like and subscribe, like the video, hate the video, tell your friends, do something to it, and we'll see y'all next time.